Hello everybody, thanks for joining me at George Crafts again. Today I am just going to show you a very basic beginner project in beading, following on from our very basics talk about beading equipment. I mentioned in that video about how easy it is and how very little equipment you need to start beading with. So I'll talk you through what I've got here today. So I've just got my scissors, which I had long before I started beading. Some clear nail varnish, which I'm sure most of you will have. Mine's Barry M if anybody's interested, but you can use any kind of nail varnish you want. Some stretch elastic, which you can get off Amazon. I'm using the black one here just so you can see it clearly against my beading mat, but you can use whatever colour you like. I usually tend to use clear if I'm covering everything up, because there just seems no point in covering up all that lovely colour when you're not going to see it. So I've got my beading elastic, and I've just got two different types of beads. They're both glass beads. These have kind of like I don't know how well it shows up, but there's kind of like a variegated, almost rainbowy finish to them. And these sort of orange glass beads are from Riverside Beads in Peterborough, or Market Deeping actually, but Peterborough to those of you who don't know the area. And these are just some more glass beads with kind of like almost a rough metallic-y finish. These are from a place called Coleman's Craft Warehouse, which is in Rushden. For those of you in Northampton, definitely go and have a look there, because they don't just have a shop, they've got like a little cafe there, and they do masterclasses and demonstration days and lots of other crafty things. I will definitely do a featured shop about them at some point, but I haven't been there lately to take any pictures, so yeah, wait for that on the website, but otherwise go and check them out. So yeah, what I do when I'm making a stretchy bracelet, first thing I do is just measure how much elastic I need, and I like to be sort of quite generous in how much I give myself to tie a knot with, so you know, don't be too mean. You can cut off a length if you want to. I like to leave mine on the reel, just because if I'm holding one end and I'm threading my beads on, I've lost count of the number of times I've been carrying on and my beads have been falling off the end, which is just annoying. So that's my top tip for making elastic bracelets, is to keep your elastic on the reel until you are happy and you're ready to tie your knot. So just to begin, just thread the beads on really. So decide on your pattern. I'm just going to alternate between these two beads, and you can do whatever it is you want to do. With these, sometimes I like to put little charms on after I've finished them, and like little friendship bracelets, but you know, I'm just going to leave this one plain, and then in another project or another tutorial I'll show you how to join things on like charms. Now, this is what I was talking about in my very basics video for beading. So these beads come from the shop on a string like this. And the way that these beads are often finished off is they're sprayed when they're on the string with different paints and finishes. So these two have just dried, joined together. For goodness sake, do not use your good scissors for this. All you need to do is either take your pliers or your scissors, pop them in like that, cover them so that the beads don't go flying everywhere, squeeze until you hear a click, and then your beads are separated. So, good tip. Don't do it with your sewing scissors or your yarn scissors for obvious reasons, and don't do it with your mum's scissors because she'll probably go ballistic, and I don't want to get in trouble with all of your mums basically. So I'm just going to carry on threading these beads up, and oh, another one that's joined together. It happens, nothing's wrong, nothing's broken, you can still use the beads. You just have to snip them apart. Happens more with some beads than others, so obviously these have been sort of finished and painted and various other things. Glass pearls, another one that tend to sort of stick together when they are on the string, but honestly don't worry about it, it happens. It's normal. It's kind of unusual when I don't get a string of beads that are stuck together like that. Sometimes you can get 3 or 4 that are stuck together. It's just the way it happens. So you'll notice that beading your sort of stretchy elastic bracelets, it builds up quite quickly. So what I do, I like to check as I go along how far round I'm going, just so I know how much more I've got left to do. So that's probably about half. And that's another reason that I like to keep my elastic on the reel, because I do a lot of checking and picking up and putting down, and I will just drop beads everywhere and get annoyed, and then I'll have to start again. And then probably because I'm starting again, so I'm rushing, I drop it even more times and the beads go everywhere else. So I've just learned now, quit while you're ahead. Leave the elastic on the reel until you are done. These makes, by the way, these bracelets, always really easy for quick gifts as well. Like, say it's like a Secret Santa or something at work, or it's somebody's birthday and you think, oh, I forgot, what am I going to do? You can make one of these up really, really quickly, or just like keep a few in your drawer at work or something, and then when it's somebody's birthday you don't have to worry, because you've already got a gift and it looks really expensive, and people will be really impressed with it, and it hasn't cost you a lot to make, and it's really easy. I love to make these for craft fairs as well, because they are so popular. You can do them in any colour or, you know, finish you want. So yeah, obviously I'm happy for you to copy the design if you want to and sell your makes. I think Kitty from Totally Beads, she's the kind of the company owner, she always says you only have 2 wrists and 1 neck, so once you've made those bracelets and necklaces you kind of run out of places to wear your jewellery. So yeah, more than happy for you to copy my designs and sell them on at your craft fairs and things like that. So this is looking pretty good size wise. We'll just give it a quick test. Maybe just a couple more beads, because I don't want it to stretch and there be gaps in it. If you like gaps, if you want to see, like I mentioned, the coloured elastic, you obviously leave the gaps as you want to do, but I like to make sure that mine is absolutely chock full of beads. Okay, so, and I like to just check that it will go over. Yep. So what I do now, I still haven't cut my elastic. This is kind of the important bit. So you tie one knot as tight as you can. Tie another knot. Whoops. Tie another knot in your elastic. Nice and tight, okay? Just be careful, because if you tighten it too much you can snap it and then the beads fly off and you think, oh, why did I bother? And then I like to do a 3rd knot. Most people just do 2. I like to do a 3rd knot because I really don't want it to come undone. Okay, now I'm happy to snip. Okay, so what I'm going to do now, I'm just going to make sure that all my knots are nice and tight. As you see, I've left myself some tails just in case it all does go wrong at the last minute. But this one seems to be nice and secure. And just to make extra double sure, all you do is you take your nail polish, you find your knot, and just put the tiniest bit of nail polish over the knot, so that when it dries, it's like a glue. Okay, you can use jewellery glue if you want to. It's just, why bother when you've already got nail varnish in the house? And then to hide the knot, this is how you make it look nice and professional. all you do is just slide your bead over the knot so the tails go inside, and then take your scissors and snip the bits off. She says, there you go, snip the bits off. And then just hide those inside. Now I've popped it the other way. Just hide those inside and you're all good to go with your bracelet, really. Let's see if I can get it through that one. So you can see that was all hidden inside my knot. And it will slide about a little bit. There you go. So all hidden. You give that to somebody. They can't see where you've tied it together or any nasty little bits of elastic or string dangling out the sides. So they're not going to see. And you've got your nail varnish on there. It's got 3 knots, so you can be nice and sure that that's not going to come to bits. And then just wear it and off you go. So yeah, thanks very much for joining me. I know it wasn't particularly exciting viewing, watching me put beads on the string, but hopefully you learned quite a bit from the knotting technique, how to paint on your nail varnish and do up your knots and hide them away so that your work looks professional. I will do another little tutorial just using charms and findings and bits and pieces like that shortly, but until then, don't forget to subscribe. Visit us at georgecrafts.co.uk or at George Crafts Blogs on Facebook, and I will see you again. Bye!